All right, what's up, Trash Talkers? We're here with the UFC 253 pick'em. Took last week off, but the fight card was kind of weak anyways. We had our special guest picker, Daniel Gonzalez, Marine war hero. You don't see any crayons in the background because he ate them all. However, we're glad to have him on the show. We'll let him introduce himself and talk about the gym that he trains at. And then we also have Joe Triggered Britson, the current champion, picking over 90% on the fights. So big shout out to Muscle Activation, who is our sponsor, our main sponsor, and Jeff Wright out in Ventura. So Ventura Training and Athletics. They had a big win with the golfer Bryson DeChambeau. Watch the video on our page. Any veteran who's got any type of muscle pain or joint pain and they can get near a mat guy, just let us know. We're going to get you hooked up. We're going to get you connected with them. Also, we're trying to get MAT into Stop Soldier Suicide's Wellness Center. So once we get them in there, then they're going to see veterans for free as well. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. Big shout out to 10th Mountain Whiskey. 10th Mountain Distillery. I am drinking their rye whiskey today. It's not bad. I like it bourbon, but I'm saving it for the show. Yeah, it's good whiskey. Anyways, can't wait to hear the picks. I'm pretty sure I'll beat all of them because I am the underwear fighting champion legend. And then after that, we'll go NFL picks just for your essay. I was 15-16 last week, and I can't be beat when I pick the NFL. I know more than all of you, and it's just gonna. Sorry.
Hey, look! He beat me last week.
Yeah, too easy.
He sent me the "I told you." He sent me the "I told you" text, and then told me exactly which games I picked wrong.
I wasn't even worried about it. Now, the refs come into play and cost me some games once in a while, but that's about it. Or a stupid play call by a stupid coach. Anyways, Daniel, welcome to the show. Welcome to the UFC 253 Pick'em through the Veteran Trash Talk. Tell us where you're from and what gym you train out of.
I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I train out of Jackson Rink MMA Academy.
All right, what's so special about that? Who trains there?
Special about it, I don't know. It goes back to, I think, 1992. A lot of great fighters have came out of that place.
Who's your favorite three? Give me three of the most talented fighters. You don't have to give them in order, but three of the most talented fighters that ever came through there. I think you went to high school with one of them, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
My number one pick would have to be Holly Holm. She is just badass. She's been training since she was young. She's still at it. You know, win or lose, she's always going to be my favorite. We got, who else we got there off the top of my head? There's so many.
Johnny Bones came out of there, didn't he?
John Jones does come out of there, yes. He's been another great one to work with and swap ideas with.
Yeah, he's lucky he hasn't ran into me. We'd swap more than ideas. Give him a thing or two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Nick wears tap out shirts everywhere he goes.
I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated in the octagon. All right, I'm just saying I'm undefeated. Nobody has beaten me in the octagon. Yep. Yeah. Never lost. Haven't fought one yet, but so.
It's a whole different ball game there.
No, I just beat Joe and I retired. So
my third pick would have to be Devin Clark. We work together when he comes out and does camps, constantly swapping ideas. He has tree trunks for legs, so I'm always asking him, leg questions or exercises.
Well, he's still at the top of his game.
He's
still mid prime, right?
Yeah, he's. I don't think he's reached his prime yet. Off the top of my head, I think he became a ranked fighter after his last fight.
I believe he was top 15 at the very least. Yes.
Did he make top 15? Okay.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? You said Clark?
Devin Clark.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get started with UFC 253. I'm pretty excited about the title fight because I made a significant amount of money off the current champion every time because he's an animal. But anyways, let's start with the first fight on the main card, and that is a featherweight fight with Dawood versus Tukhachakov. So it's obviously a Russian who doesn't eat until he trains. So he's going to probably win in the first 5 seconds with a knockout because that's how he gets paid. He gets paid with food. But Tukhachakov is 19-4-1 as the underdog versus Dawood, who's 11-1. So we'll give the guest picker first pick on that, Daniel. So who's going to win what round and how's it going down?
You know what? To be honest, I don't know how to say their names. I'm totally going to butcher their names. So you have to help me out with the names.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you Hakeem Dawodu. He's actually a Canadian
Okay.
featherweight.
Yeah, Canadians got he can't have a hockey stick in the ring, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. Both guys are listed as strikers. And dude, I'm not even going to take a shot at Tukhugov's first name. I'm going to take a shot at him. I'm a liar. Is Zubaira. I spelled Zubaira. So
right, thanks for the spelling lesson, Joe.
Yeah, I don't really care if I butcher it because it's a ridiculous name. So
all right, Daniel, you picked the Russian or the Canadian in what round? How's it going down?
I'm gonna have to pick the Russian, and you said this was the main card, so they got 5 rounds.
No, these guys got 3 rounds. This is the main card, not the main event.
Okay, and you said they're both strikers, right?
Featherweights too, yes.
Okay, so that means they're gonna be throwing punches at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So, but I'm still gonna have to go with the Russian because he's Russian and they've wrestled bears.
Yes.
Very true. Very
Wrestle
true.
bears, and then what round and how's it going down?
I think it's gonna go all 3 rounds by decision with the Russian.
All right, Trigger Joe, the current reigning champion of the Veteran Trash Talk Pick'em. Who do you got?
I had the exact same thing Daniel did. I looked at their records. I see that he wins a lot of fights. He's very tough. He grinds fights out, and he's got a lot of decisions on his card. And I think he's gonna win by decision. So got the same thing.
All right, so we're gonna get separated right away from that first fight as I picked a first round knockout so he could go back to the locker room and eat. But we'll go to the second fight. Yeah, we'll go to the second fight, which I believe is a female competition, a bantamweight, and they got Vieira at 10-1 versus Eubanks at 7-4. I'm gonna go with Vieira because she's only been beat once, and that's good enough for me. So now on to Joe, who I got her winning by a decision. So who do you got, Joe?
Yeah, I got the same. 3 of her last 5 fights were decisions, and one of them was her loss. So I got the same. I got Vieira by decision. Eubanks has a 7-4 record. Some of the talent she's lost to this girl's beat. So I'm taking Vieira by decision.
All right, Daniel, who do you got?
Now, is Vieira a striker or a grappler?
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu? Okay,
Yeah,
what about Eubanks?
she's Brazilian also. Eubanks is actually listed as a striker. She's also 5'4", and this girl's 5'8". So the jiu-jitsu girl has more height, which means she's going to be more flexible at submissions, and the striker's 5'4", which means she's going to have to close some distance. So
yeah, that was Joe's excuse when I beat him was too tall. And, popped the shoulder out of place. And, technical decision, but go ahead, Daniel. Yeah. Who do you got?
I'm gonna have to go with the grappler on that one. That was what was her name?
Vieira.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with her. She might get a submission. I think she'll get a submission either in the second or third round.
She submitted Sarah McCann, so I mean that's a girl fought Ronda Rousey. So submission second round.
Yeah, second
gutsy
round.
Call. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good pick there.
Could be dead nuts on that one.
For the 50 people that are going to watch this, but hopefully when I tag Daniel's name in it, we'll get about 150 to watch it because he's pretty famous. Yeah.
You're the only guy that's been on this show that they make movies about. I know that.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if we can talk about that yet, but if we can, we're going to make a movie about Daniel wearing it because we're superstars. But he's a great story, great American. We can talk about that a little bit later after some of the picks. But
yeah,
we'll go to the flyweight, fight, the third fight, is Kara France, is 21-8 versus Royval. How do you say that one, Joe?
I think it's Royval. I don't know. I don't really know this guy.
All right, I'm going to go Kara France in a surprising first round knockout because again, anybody who names him Kara is like you're a good fighter, man, because you're gonna have to grow up fighting. And so Daniel, you got to pick on this one. Who do you got?
Run them by me real quick.
All right.
Joe, gonna run the stats.
They're flyweights. So $125. Kara France 5'4", 6'9" or 69-inch reach ortho, and then Royval's 5'9". So he's got 5 inches on him, but he's only actually the reach is the same. So he doesn't have any. He's a southpaw. Kara France is definitely a more active striker, but they don't have a whole lot of finishes, either one of them. So, and Kara France is a minus 230 favorite.
I think I'm just gonna have to throw it out there, like just random, just stab in the dark. Royval was his name.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with him. This one might be decision on Royval's favor.
All right, Royval with a decision. All right, I like that. Hey, Joe, who do you got? Don't get too triggered with this pick.
Yeah, man, I tell you that the weight difference in the male, female, and male, like 3 first-round fights, is only 10 pounds. These are all smaller fighters. Kara France is definitely a banger. I mean, he throws a lot more punches, and the other guy, Royval's a grappler. So I'm gonna go with Kara France. I think when Vegas puts them a minus 230 favorite, they know something. And I'm gonna go with him by decision. Neither one of them have a whole ton of finishes on their card. So Daniel's thinking that the grappler's gonna grapple, and I'm thinking the striker's gonna strike. So we'll see.
All right. So at first, I didn't realize what your shirt meant, Joe. I thought maybe Buddy Beckwith gave that to you as a married my aunt. Not because in Alabama that's what they do.
Oh, Dan, did you hear that? The MMA.
Yeah,
where Beckwith is from is called "Marry My Aunt." That's
Marry my aunt in Alabama. So I mean, I guess it's part of their rules down there. Like at a certain age, you got to marry your aunt. But I miss Buddy Beckwith. We'll talk to him on Saturday during the Trash Talk Hour, which is a good plug in there. We got another Marine coming on, Silver Star recipient. He's going to come on and talk about his situation and his businesses. He started remodeling hot rods to help cope with his PTSD, and he turned it into a business. So it's going to be a pretty cool story to talk to him because he found something that he loved to do that helped his brain work, and now he's getting paid for it. We'll go to the light heavyweight fight, and you got the co-main. This is a 5-rounder, correct, Joe? Because it's co-main.
Yes, it's for the belt too.
Okay, it's for a belt.
Is for the interim belt.
Right, because the belt's not. So is the winner going to throw the belt down and say, "I need to beat the champ"? Or
no, you know what? Actually, no. You know what? This is one of those rare instances where there's no champ because John Jones is technically a heavyweight now. So the belt's up for grabs. So this is the permanent belt, 5-rounder.
All right, so you got Reyes 12-1, and then you got Blachowicz 26-8. I'm gonna go with being from El Paso right now. I'm gonna go with Reyes. Pretty common name here, and he's just gonna dominate. I mean, it's probably not gonna be close. I'm gonna go second round TKO. The ref's gonna stop it. But all right, Joe, go through the stats, and then it's your pick.
Yeah, Reyes is 12-1, and most people that have watched his last few fights think he's 13-0. I actually agree. I agree that on the scorecard he beat John Jones in that fight. So I don't even really consider that one a real L because he went out there and he took a fight to John Jones that no one's done in a long time. And to be the champ, you got to beat the champ convincingly, and it was close, but I believe he won that fight. So Reyes is he's definitely a more active striker. He's a more accurate striker, and he's a finisher. He's a striker by nature. He's super athletic. I believe he played college. He played tight end or defensive end in college football. So he's one of those athletes turned fighter. And then this Blachowicz, I said his name wrong, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'd knock his ass out too. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
He's more of a jiu-jitsu guy. He's real famous for knocking out Luke Rockhold, which doesn't impress me at all. It was Luke Rockhold's first light heavyweight fight, and he wasn't right after Michael Bisping. So yeah, I got Reyes. Man, it's hard to call it, but I'm gonna say third. I'm gonna say he puts it on him good enough in the first 2 rounds, and then the third it's enough.
All right, 3rd round KO. What do you got, Daniel? Who do you got in the fight?
I got Reyes, you know, and I think it's gonna go all rounds by decision.
All right, decision. You have it. Now on to the main card. On to the main event. The champ.
Yeah,
all right. Say his name, Joe. All I know is I bet on him and he wins me money.
Israel Adesanya. Or as they know him by, AKA the last style bender.
All right, versus Costa. So I am taking Israel by just absolute demolishing. I don't care what round it is. I'll just say 4th round. Costa's gonna quit because this guy's just gonna absolutely pummel him.
By brutality, like
yeah,
in Mortal Kombat.
Exactly. I wouldn't even. I would take a second mortgage out of your house and bet on this fight, and you're going to be really happy about it. Actually, don't do that. It's not. I don't know what I'm talking about. I picked based off of names. So, but if you're a wild card like I am, all that money goes down on this guy. So I'm going him. I'm going to go 4th round ref stoppage TKO. Who do you got, Joe?
That's Daniel's pick. I picked the last one first.
All right, get the specs first. Let's Daniel. Let's
all
know
all
these
right.
guys.
Well, Adesanya's 6'4". They're both 185ers. You know that. But he's got an 80-inch reach to Costa 72. So he's got an 8-inch reach on him. So Costa's gonna have to get inside. But Costa lands double the significant strikes per minute. He lands 8.4 strikes per minute. Significant strikes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
To Adesanya's 3.9. So, do you take Paulo Costa on the blitz to KO the champ, or do you take the champ to be able to counter and work him over? Because that's what it's going to be.
Not a chance.
Either Costa comes in and connects, or he doesn't.
This one's gonna be a tough one. Costa is. I'm gonna go with the Costa on this one.
Lost your money. No.
Because he looks like Ricky Martin.
There it is. There we go.
Yeah, he's like a buff Ricky Martin. No, I think I think Acosta has been in far more heavier battles in the octagon, and I think that he has the ability to take Adesanya where he's never been before. So, will it be a knockout? That's going to be a tough one. I want to see, the Paulo Acosta knock him out. But I think it's going to be a decision with Acosta winning by decision.
All right, Joe, who you got?
I tell you what, that's bold if you watch the UFC or if you're a fan. That's bold for several reasons. No one's picking Costa by decision. But I mean that stuff happens. They may get into a war, and who knows. But man, I literally.
Let me add something. I say decision because I think Adesanya is going to be running.
Okay.
A little rope-a-dope, the cage-a-dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, this one is very tough because the thing is both guys can make a fool out of anybody that picked against them, and you just don't know. 13-0 with 11 KOs for Costa, 19-0 with 15 knockouts for Adesanya. No losses between either one of these guys. So
you know what's leaning me towards making this decision was with Asanya and Romero. What was that?
Yep. Yep.
That that fight was horrible.
It was bad, man. It was bad.
Yeah.
There was not very much action in that fight. And then you watch Costa and Romero fight, and they're both bleeding out of every spot.
That's exactly
at the end.
That's exactly why I think Acosta can take Sanya somewhere he's never been.
Sure.
And that's all about the fight game too, is going places, you know, that's what makes champions.
Yep. Yeah.
I've seen it with
so
my
who you got, Joe's actually stalling right now. He doesn't know who to pick. So he's scared right now.
I'm feeling the room, man. I'm feeling the room.
Yeah.
No,
who
I'm going Adesanya. Okay, I'll give you my pick first, and then I'll tell you why. Adesanya by decision.
We're all waiting.
Adesanya by decision. And the reason why is because the way this guy cuts angles off and walks people into his punches. I think they probably trained him with guys that bulldogged him into the corner and how to duck those big looping hooks and to get low and get his head out of there so he doesn't get caught with one. Now, could Costa, I told my wife this, I said, could Costa make me an idiot in 15 seconds? Yep. He's the only guy that can do that. Because he dropped Yoel Romero. Enough said. No one's ever done that before. But I'm going to go with the guy that I think had the ability to be the next great one.
Right, great picks.
Whenever you see that in any kind of sport, when you see that that different little twinge to their game where it looks like that guy's he knows something everybody else doesn't. And Nick's boy has looked like that all season, Aaron Rodgers. He has looked like hey, you guys forgot about something.
He stopped dating Danica Patrick, and I guess he went and saw some kind of shrink, because I've called Aaron Rodgers out for the last decade, all right, about being a little pouty baby on the field, right?
I know.
I've never doubted his talent. I've never doubted how he throws the ball. I think he throws the ball better than any quarterback we've seen, besides Warren Moon, if you're old enough to have watched him. Nobody throws the ball with that kind of spiral and that kind of arc and speed, period. But he sits there and pouts the whole time. All I've seen this whole year was a big smile on his face, and just, handing the ball off to Aaron Jones from UTEP, whose parents were sergeant majors.
Who's a freaking animal, by the way. That dude is the man.
Unbelievable. But hey, Daniel, before we transition over to football, do you want to give us a little background on what we can talk about for what we got going on?
As far as the film project?
And a little bit about your story about why it's important that everybody needs to watch it and hear it.
The film project, is something that's been in the works for a while. And Sam has hung on to that story for so long. If I say it surprises me, I feel that way, but it also doesn't surprise me at the same time, because he's such a great, passionate guy about filmmaking,
and about veterans too, for sure. Loves his country, loves veterans.
Yeah, he loves his country. He went from a stunt guy to training in firearms, and really has taken a liking to it. He tries really hard. He puts in 200%, totally. But as far as the story, my story, I just felt that there was time to just make something completely different. Just put out a movie that I want to say represents veterans in a different light, as far as having what it takes to do something that is very difficult after you come home,
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. We look forward to the finished product and promoting it. But hey, the picks were awesome. Well, let's transition over to the NFL. Now you're in my octagon, boys. This is.
I don't know anything about NFL.
Yeah, don't worry. Joe pretends to too, but he was he could talk about college because he's turned off by Detroit Lions. Everybody watching Detroit Lions, they were really cool back in like the 50s. But other than that, he stopped watching the NFL a long time ago. So the only pro players he watches are the ones that graduated from that ugly flag behind him, and that's like about it. So he'll pick Tom Brady every time just because he went to Michigan. But yeah, like I said, last week I was 15 out of 16. We didn't go hot with it because the fight card sucked. But I'm just going to go to quick skinny. So bet the money line on all these games, and then I'll turn it over to the other guys to pick them. So tonight's game, all right, you got Jacksonville at home against Miami. All right, Jacksonville's going to roll. All right, it's not even going to be close. Miami might put up a fight because they're 0-2, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in a different game that I'm going a certain way. But the next game you got is San Francisco at Giants. All right, Saquon's out. Giants are buried. All right, they passed up on the great quarterbacks, the great athletic quarterbacks that this game's turned into, and took some nobody. So, yeah, they're done for the next 5-6 years. So you got San Francisco taking out New York. Then you got – this one's a hard one. You got the Steelers at home versus the Texans. All right, and that's a tough one. Texans 0-2, coming off some tough games.
So was the last one.
Huh?
That last game's a tough one.
Exactly.
San Francisco, I mean, Bosa and Garoppolo went out last week. They're
correct.
You talk about the nobody wants to see that game bowl.
Right, exactly. But I still got New York's got nobody. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could probably take somebody from Syracuse from New York to put on their team, and they'd probably be a little bit better. So you got the Steelers versus the Texans, and I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think the Texans had a rough start to the season as far as their schedule, and I just don't see them bouncing back. Maybe they can, but I got the Steelers taking them out at home. And then I got Buffalo 2-0 versus the Rams 2-0. Another tough pick. But again, I go with defense and I go with quarterback. I watched Jared Allen play in person. He's the real deal. And I'm going with Buffalo Bills. No problem. All right. This one's kind of emotional for me. The Bears versus the Falcons. All right. I actually picked the Bears 2 weeks in a row, which is rare for me because I hate everything from Chicago. Everything. It's the worst city in America. I don't care who wants to argue it. They burnt their whole city down in the early 1900s.
Stats don't lie.
Yeah, they're absolutely terrible. They lost $40 million from the education fund because some mobster took it, and they're like, where'd it go? I'm like, who knows? Like, the city is just terrible. Anyways, I'm going to go Atlanta. I'm going to go Atlanta in this game because –
Is it in the ATL?
Yeah, it's in the ATL. It's in the ATL, and they're going to take down Chicago pretty hard because Mitch Trubisky just absolutely sucks. Then we're going to go to the next game, which is Philly, 0-2 with no receivers whatsoever, versus the Bengals, who have not played a defense like Philly yet. So Philly's got a good defense. Philly's going to roll on Cincinnati. Now we got Minnesota at home versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is what I was talking about. You got an 0-2 team, so don't get tricked by that. Minnesota's 0-2, but they're not a bad team. So it's very hard to go 0-3 in the NFL when you're a good team. So they're going to come out in Tennessee's strong, but this is going to be a defensive struggle, and I just think that Minnesota's got more weapons. Even though they lost Diggs, they're still going to – I think they're going to win in a tight one. So I'm going to go Minnesota at home on that one. Now, what we talked about before – but you guys didn't see it. We'll talk about it now. We got Cam Newton with the New England Patriots, who was 2 yards away from winning me $10,000. All right? Cam Newton is the best football player on the planet. I don't care what anybody else says.
2 feet away from winning you
2 feet.
$10,000.
Excuse me, 2 feet. Excuse me. I use the metric system, so no, I don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
say they were on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it's 3 feet. Anyways, so you got Las Vegas, who, by the way, I picked last week to beat New Orleans at home.
Well, congratulations, because I hope the Saints go 0-16 afterwards.
How do you not pick Las Vegas in their home opener in a brand new stadium, right? Where it's just obviously there's no crowd, but still, like, that stadium is beautiful. And as soon as we get over this COVID nonsense and fill that stadium up, it's going to be rocking. Can't wait to see that one. But I got Cam Newton coming back, bouncing back, because this is the first loss with Bill Belichick, the greatest coach on the planet. So Bill Belichick, Cam Newton, I'll call take the over on New England, take the blowout. That's my lock. New England's going to bury these guys because, like I said, Cam Newton's the best player on the planet. The over-under on the game is 47.5. I have a feeling that New England's going to score 40 points by themselves. So, and if Jacobs got banged up for for Las Vegas. So Jacobs is the real deal as well. I told you about him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's an animal. You're right.
Like, I don't care what anybody says. He's probably the best young running back that we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And as far as just pure rusher. So, but he got banged up against that gate called where they were the Bounty Gate Saints, taking dirty shots on him. So there we go. So that's the lock. Take that one. We got Cleveland against Washington. Cleveland at home. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I'm not a fan of his talent. I'm a fan of his attitude. I think his attitude is winning. He just wasn't blessed with the size of an actual NFL quarterback, but he's a winner. And if they can just get those other high-priced talent guys to mesh together, which is the coach's job, then that's too easy. So I got Cleveland beating Washington at home. And then you got San Diego against Carolina. San Diego at home. I take San Diego. I got Indianapolis at home against the Jets. That's Indianapolis with a very good quarterback. I always when you're confused, take the best quarterback. And then you got, the Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. And I got PTSD from this matchup because I bet on Detroit last year to beat Arizona. And I believe Detroit blew a 18
points. 18-point
lead. And they missed 6 field goals in the second half.
My wife will quote that game because she remembers it.
Yeah, that cost me money. That one hurt.
We were up there and she watched that game with her dad and said, "What the hell happened in the Lions game?" And I was like, "The Detroit Lions happened."
All right, now you got Tampa Bay at the Wounded Broncos. Again, not really home field advantage with no crowd. Tom Brady's going to come in there and put a butt whooping on the Broncos. Yeah,
that's me carving roast beef. Here's
a tough one for me. You got Dallas. You got Dallas at Seattle. All right. Now Dallas is loaded with talent. Seattle's a very good team. So I'm going to go coach versus coach here. Anybody who knows me as a Packer fan, Mike McCarthy has a great offensive game plan. Very simple plan. Aaron Rodgers hated it because Aaron Rodgers wanted to score big points all the time. But Mike McCarthy makes some horrible, horrible decisions. So I have a feeling this game is going to come down to a bad challenge and a loss of timeout by somebody, and it's going to go Seattle's way because people don't like their head coach. I don't like him either after the fail Mary, and he said a catch is a catch. All right, he had that whole cheating game going down in USC.
You wouldn't give two shits about the fail Mary if it wasn't against Green Bay.
Correct. And
Pete Carroll's been a douchebag since USC.
Right, but he's still a good coach. He's still a good coach. And like I said, he's a douchebag with the cheating in USC.
Yeah.
And hey, catch is a catch. It's like, nah, man, that wasn't true. But anyways, you got and that cost the Packers home field advantage in the playoffs and whatever. The rest is history. Now you got Green Bay at New Orleans. All right. So again, if there was a home crowd there, Green Bay would have a tough time. But there's not going to be a crowd there. It's Green Bay's just going to roll.
That's Aaron Rodgers carving like the guy at Golden Corral in the commercials. It's yeah. And Saints are about to wear one.
You give one of the hottest new coaches enough film that Gruden, one of the coaching gurus, just gave the whole NFL on how to beat New Orleans. And New Orleans doesn't have Michael Thomas, so it's not even a big deal. Packers have actually a very good secondary. People don't realize that. They've been drafting secondary for about 4 straight years. So it's about time that some of them started showing up, and they do. And they drafted a Big Ten guy, so that helped. The guy who can actually hit. Now, to the best game of the week, the Monday night game, Baltimore against KC. Now, KC's a better team, hands down. Not even close, all right? Baltimore has 12 All-Pros, and that's why they win a lot of games. But they don't ever beat good teams on the road or in the playoffs. However, it's not the playoffs. They're at home. They're going to win. They're going to win. And in a really close fashion. There's going to be a turnover here or there, but I'm going to go Baltimore in a very tight game. It's going to be exciting, fun to watch. So I know I went through there kind of fast in about 4 minutes for all you guys. But Joe, do you want to hit up any games?
No, we usually see that Baltimore game, because you roll so fast, that Baltimore game's at Arrowhead?
No, it's in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Baltimore's a 3.5 point favorite, and over-under is 54.5. I don't think it's getting there. I don't think it's getting there.
I tell you, man, I'm still hooked on that muscle memory of who's at home. And I mean, how many? Because there are stadiums that have fans, right?
Right.
Like Dallas had them.
Yeah, you can have up to that's because Texas is the greatest country in the world.
The
greatest.
You know what North Carolina just said? North Carolina just said that the Panthers games can be like when they actually pass this new one can be 7% capacity.
Right.
7. Cool. What the hell is that? Say nothing at all.
And also Jacksonville, that lock tonight. The game already just started, but Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree with you on most of those.
Fans. But yeah, the fans once they start coming back in, it's not a big deal. I mean, they just need to make the CDC. I'll get technical with it. The CDC just came out with survivability rates. All right, by age. So it's real easy. If you're 60 years old and younger, go do whatever the hell you want. The only way you beat a virus, Trash Talk Nation, is get your ass in a gym. Get your ass.
Eat a steak for breakfast.
Eat a steak for breakfast. baby hearts for lunch, and then you drink some good scotch, like Joe's buddy, the Marine, says. He's lived for he looks like he's 25 years old. He's 60. Never drinks bad scotch. So those are the rules: steaks for breakfast, baby hearts for lunch, and then good scotch. Don't forget it. Hey, Daniel, great having you on the show. Joe,
thanks, buddy,
for the picks, and we'll see you guys on Saturday with another Marine Corps veteran. Awesome having you guys.
Bill, get